All right, everybody. Hey, same program, same night, different hosts.
Was
So
2
we're
weeks in a
back
row.
2
2 weeks
weeks
in
in
a
a
row
row.
with the stand-ins.
Hey, when you do a good job in the seniors, mate, they give you another game, mate. That's what they've done with us. We did all
Very
right
good.
last week. So they thought, we'll chuck them back on. So everyone, welcome. Just Vince. We'll just give a big cheerio to Vince. He had a bit of everyone should know by now, but he had a bit of a drama last week. He had to be rushed to hospital, but look, he's back home. He's getting better. Still a bit weak today. He was on the antibiotics, he was telling us. And just wanted to just rest for the next week. And he'll be back bigger and better next week. And he'll be
With
ready
Joe.
to tell you all his bad jokes and everything. He'll be ready next week. But he does say thanks to everyone for all the good wishes and well-beings. And so we just want to say hi to Vince. He'll be watching for sure. And And how are you, Rash?
I'm good, mate, and I'm very happy because the Blues won, of course. But the other point is that Joe will be back, so we'll be back to regular programming, as they call it. So we'll be
Joe's
back to
all
that.
the way. I think he's in Milan at the moment.
He is. And the other thing is we got an approval from Vince. Vince was saying that, oh, my God, you and Rocco together as the hosts, very good. So he approves of the stand-in. So, I think we've got a bit of flow going.
We got a bit of flow. We do all right. We do all right for a bunch of old wogs, mate. We do all right. We do all right. So the Blues won. We had a big win. Before we go, just thanks to the Sporting Globe for backing the Jumper Punch, man. They're a great support to us and all the other sponsors. We've got Northside Transfers and Tech Collectibles, Top Dog Liquor, Carlton, and the Sporting Globe. The other thing I want to say is this Friday is the big game against Sydney. It's over in Sydney. And what do we got? We've got the big catch up at the Sporting Globe, Sydney v Carlton at the Sporting Globe. So make sure you get onto the links in the description. Grab your free tickets. Get down there. We all watch it together. It's going to be a Friday night, so it's going to be a nice vibe there. So make sure you get down there. I won't be there, unfortunately for you. You'll be there. There'll be plenty of others. Paul will be there. Mars will be there, but I'll be down at the game in Sydney supporting the mighty Blue Bakers. So make sure you get your free tickets, get down there. It's a really good event. Last two have been great. There's been like 50, 60 people there. We get the whole venue to us. It's private. All the screens are up. Good food. Mate, it's a really good day.
It's all Carlton. All right. 100%. I think there's another one there. One of the sponsors you missed is Retired Working for You, Joe's company. I don't know if you can pull that up, but if you don't, it's I'm putting it on the spot here. That's okay. That's okay. People that watch the show know.
I reckon we got that, and I reckon and this one here. There you go. That's it. There you go. So we got that. So make sure you get on. You want to get down to anything. Well, any sort of trip, but Thailand is his specialty, mate. They bring you around. They got the 7-day, the 14-day, holiday package that he can bring, and you'll be going around with Joe. How good's that, mate? How good is that?
Fantastic. I reckon. All right, let's get the man in. I reckon
we get him on straight away. Here he is. The man. This is what we're here for. We want to hear what's going on. So, how are you, Dave? How's things, mate?
Yeah, great. Yeah. Always good after a win, but the roller coaster continues, doesn't it? Up and down. And but no, they're very good win, and under a bit of duress too. We had a few injuries there and a few sore boys out there, so they had to tough it out, which was fantastic.
And that was the big thing I got out of the game was, you knew it was going to be low scoring, tough sort of game, the way Ross Lyon plays his game, and just to tough it out. And then we got those injuries, and then just to tough it out because the second half was pretty ordinary half of footy, but we toughed it out and we took our moments, Reese. We took our moments. That's the main thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was good to see Harry Mackay go back and slot that goal too. Very important goal, and he shanked one early. So I think he's got his mojo back with his kicking. He did kick one bad one, but overall, he's been kicking pretty well for the last year and a bit. So we can put that to the side. But yeah, I think even Michael Voss was pretty happy that Ross Lyon was coaching against him when you got a couple of injuries and a few sore boys out there. Then all we had to do was tough it out, and the more contested it was, the better it was going to be for us. So it become not a great match to watch, but I don't think I've ever seen a great match that Ross Lyon's been involved in coaching. So I've never watched. I'm dead set. It's like putting bamboo under your fingernails watching St Kilda play or a Ross Lyon coach team play. They're negative. They get behind the ball. So I'm glad to get through that and get a good win.
And that's exactly what I thought. I was there at the game. First half was good. They started with a couple of goals, and I'll give you the scores. It was 9-8, 62 to 11-11, 77. So the first half was pretty good. We got out to a 3 or 4 goal lead. They came back. It was a scrap the second half. But as I said, I was impressed with those injuries. Losing McGovern early, I thought that was going to be a bit of a test for us. Then we lose Cowan. But the good thing, Reece, that I enjoyed was so then all of a sudden Chera goes behind the ball, plays there, and then we get Lewis Young, who's become a star for Carlton. He every time he comes in, man, he does a job. And then we bring him back and he does a job. So we moved the chess pieces around and we got the job done, which is important. One of the not the first time, but it was one of the times where I saw, Voss do some moves and it all worked.
Yeah, probably the only unfortunate thing is, we have to be forced into those moves. And I'd like to see them happening when we're not traveling that well and things aren't working, and then, flick the magnets around and try something. We don't seem to do that very often. But when we're forced to and guys go back and do the jobs, then it's fantastic. And as you say, Lewis Young bobbed up a couple of goals. So very, very handy. And Chera going back, sort of, it takes a bit out of our midfield, but, we stepped it up and especially in that last quarter, I thought Cripper was enormous. I think, we really needed our skipper to stand up in that last quarter and he was fantastic. So, it was just a good, tough win. It's sort of whoever lost that match was, going to struggle, and it looks like, St Kilda will.
Are they the sort of matches that that could set up your season, those gutsy wins, you know what I mean? You got a few injuries down and you know what I mean, you're back against the wall. Is that the type of win that could possibly, I'm hoping it possibly sets up the season now, with some with some winnable games coming up, Yeah,
when you're under duress and you only got a couple on the bench, you're men short everywhere, sort of thing. It upsets the whole rhythm of how you've expected to play. So that's when you need to adapt, and it gives you great confidence that you can get through some adversity too. So onwards and upwards for the Blues, and it starts with the Swans this week because. We've copped some floggings up there off them, and they're going to be really feeling it a bit at the moment. So they'll come out 100 miles an hour. So I'm going up there. I'm looking forward to the game, and I'll be up there. And I heard you say that before. So get up there on Friday night and then spend the weekend. I've got 3 grandkids up in Sydney, so I'll spend the weekend watching grandson play footy on Saturday, and my granddaughter, she'll be playing netball, I think, on Saturday as well, and she's got soccer on Sunday. So it's going to be great up there. Looking forward to it.
It is the way, and I mean Rocco Moro just said it. It is going to be the David Rees-Jones Cup,
The Reece Jones-Williams Cup, it could be, hey?
And the Williams Cup.
Then they could put a ring out there and we could sort a few things out. Yeah.
We had a few. There was Mitchell. He was also Sydney Carlton.
Yeah.
We had a few that went over to Carlton. Yeah.
Hey, Rock, do you want to go through the statistics so we just finish up on this game and just some I mean, without going, guys, we don't have the we don't have the graphics today, so
no, I haven't got the graphics. No, but as I said, like there's not much. Everything was pretty even, like disposals and efficiency and the free kicks. I mean, they got a few more free kicks, no big deal. But maybe contested, we were like 15 or 20 more contested ball than them, So and so we should be with that sort of hit outs was a little bit more. But I found that contest really pretty much even. I think they evened themselves. They cancelled themselves out. They both played their parts in the game.
Don't you think Marshall was better? I thought Marshall was better.
I don't think so. I thought Diccone was good in the first half. You know what I mean? I thought he was really good in the first half, and then Marshall took his moments in the second half. Yeah. So, but I thought Diccone, he looked a bit out on his feet the second half, Diccone, you know what I mean? So, but apart from that, I don't know. I thought they evened each other out. Yeah.
Yes, David's laughing. I don't
know. I just saw the Simon Minton Connell Cup.
So, what do you think, David? What do you think of like TDK versus Marshall? What do you think was quite even, or was it?
I thought they both contributed. They're both pretty good actually. So and neither dominated the game. So I called it a break even. Really, I thought it was pretty well square. If you went to the pinch, you'd say Marshall by a little bit, but wasn't much in it, and it didn't really affect the game anyway.
No, I agree. And what about some of the other plays? You know who's been impressing me? And we've said it week in and week out. And Lana's in there.
Of course. Lana's boy.
Lana's in there. Sign Sauce now. Make your mind up. There you go, please. Yeah. Sauce has been so good, man. He's like, it's like his dad was, I don't know, fullback of the century. It's like it's in his genes, Unbelievable how good he's been. He's almost been our best backman, to tell you the truth.
Well, he gets back there, and you see him directing things back there as well, and that's a great sign because Weeders, he's the general back there, but he needs some lieutenants, and I mean, Jack's been fantastic back there, and even to come back with a broken hand after a week sort of thing, and he'd be gloved up, and I can tell you, he'd be looking forward to the bye coming up because that 1 week of not having to put it through the pressure sort of thing, or we'll give him 2 weeks really between games, and that's going to help him a lot. But he just has a dip. He has a go. He puts that Carlton jumper on and really has a go. And a bit like his grandfather and his father sort of thing. Got a lot of pride in his ability and doesn't shirk it at all. He takes the responsibility. We've seen him play forward. We've seen him in the ruck. They've put him everywhere, and wherever he's been put, he's given his all. So,
but he's also a good kick, man.
He is. Yeah,
he's not just a goer. Every time he gets the ball, I think he kicked one out on the full, if I remember, and that was about it. But the rest, mate, you can bank that he's going to hit a target, and he'll go for it too. He'll try to hit that target in the middle. I was one of the guys who thought, I don't know about putting him in the back. He should be in the forward. But you know what? He's proved everyone wrong, and he's a great player. He's a really good player.
And your guy.
He's more of a student of the game too. He's been, it's been a huge part of his life, footy, and been in the club rooms since he's a little tacker sort of thing. So he's grown up with football and he knows football. So he's got a good footy brain and he's got a lot of heart too. So I agree. Sign him up ASAP because he's a bit of a barometer, and we're a much better team with Jack Silvani in than out of it.
With him coming in, and also and Haynes now doing so well and making the 26 very proud. We're becoming more of an intercept, an intercept defending marking kind of team now, because we've got Weeders, Sauce, and Haynes. I mean, they're intercepting everything. Like, seriously, they are intercepting everything. We've kind of like our game seems to evolve to that kind of game now, that intercept, and then we can attack from defense, which is an exciting game they're playing at the moment. I'm enjoying it, with that.
Yeah, and they're playing with a bit of confidence back there, and all we had, for the last few years has been Weeders, and that was why. Look, I was really excited when they picked up Nick Haynes, because obviously he struggled to get a game last year with the GWS, but they're backmen. They've got two of the best in the competition, so that's why he struggled to get in. And after the first couple of rounds, I'm thinking, geez, he's just not the same player as what I remember a few years back. And an All-Australian, he was terrific, but he's got his confidence back. You can see he's going for his marks. He's a bit more sure of himself, and I think that's a credit to the coaches and the people around him to show a lot of faith. And it would have been easy to dump him after a few games, but they've shown faith, and it's going to pay off. And with McGovern back there as well. I mean, he's didn't participate much last night, but or in the game, but he was important too.
Can I just say, Rock, one thing that I've noticed is those three players that you guys have been mentioning, they're all actually smart players. They're actually footy smart, if I'm correct by saying it. That they're, in comparison to having Silvani or Kemp, I would have Silvani all day, every day. So by the way, we've got Joe he's going to join us shortly.
He seems to be, the camera doesn't seem to be on. So as soon as his camera goes on, we'll put him in. It just seems to be blank at the moment there. Rash. Wait a second. Yeah, so as soon as he's on, we'll get him on. Yeah, no, the defensive he's put up. It's probably been one of our, best parts of the game, our defense all year. So we really can't complain about the defense. They've been good. And midfield. Man, I said this. We've done a lot of good things and things that were right all year, right? But there was some things that we just did. We were just off on some things. We can just get it together. That brand of footy will win you finals if we can get there. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And they've got to have faith in the system too. They really need to have some faith in it. Here's Joe. How are you, mate? Where are you?
How are we? Sorry, I'll turn the camera like that. Is that better?
Yeah, better.
Where am I? I'm in Rome at the moment. I'm just on my way to see the new Pope. Apparently, he's giving a speech. But I was getting ready to take the job, but he took it before me.
I don't reckon they'll give you the job, Joe, for some reason. You live in Thailand.
I took a vow of chastity for one day for no reason.
What do you think of the game, Joe? Did you see it?
No, I didn't watch it, but I heard it on the radio. So they seemed to play all right. Although, they couldn't shake St Kilda. I'm sure they played that Gower, Ross Lyon type of defensive football, as per usual.
Yep, they did.
Exactly what they did.
Which is never going to win them a premiership. So I'm sort of glad that he didn't come to Carlton, because then we would have played it.
We're all on the greens there. We're all on the greens there.
Yeah, no, I'm no fan of his.
I'm sure Big Bing Chan's is watching, so I'd better send him a cheerio. I hope he's better. And I'll be back next week, so don't worry. Rash, you can have a holiday again.
Thank you. It's all good.
The A team will be back next week.
No, this is the A team. The B team will definitely be back next week. All right, listen, I better let you guys go. So take care, and I'll see you next week. See you, Dave.
See you, mate.
See you, mate. Yeah. So plenty of good things we saw. As I said, we needed to win. To me, we needed to win that game so bad. It was going to be tough. I mean, we've still got a lot to prove, man. Sydney's going to – every game's big now. Every game is huge for us, you know what I mean?
The one thing I like, though, is things are starting to come together. As you said, our back line has been terrific all year. They've really been good with Weeders back there. But one of the, and our centre, our centre line's been, it's got smacked last week, and that's the first time it really got beaten, and we got beaten really badly in contested possessions and clearances. So, and that's where we've dominated teams. So that was an off one last week, but our forward line, if we can start getting more out of our forward line, more score on the board, geez, we can really start, shaking the ladder up a bit and moving up, and that's really going to be it. But Charlie started very well, and looked the goods early, and then Harry, I thought Harry was pretty good all night. I thought he did a lot of ruck work, and I thought he had
almost.
Yeah, I thought he had a very, very good game. So but he's got to get that goal kicking. We need to get, like Hogan today kicked 7 or whatever. I mean, we need to get our boys. Our boys, they're good enough to be kicking 6 and 7. We don't want to be relying on them, but we need to really worry the opposition. I reckon a lot of it is the way we still don't bring the ball into our forward line very well, and we don't open it up enough. It's always seems cluttered in there, and you never see. When Charlie's in a one-on-one situation, he'll win it most of the time, as we saw. But how many times, he was early in the game, he was able to get in those one-on-ones, but St Kilda were able to push people back pretty quickly, and he was up against 2-3, and even our blokes flying alongside him, sort of thing. So we've got to get our forward line right, and then we really can be a chance to go further into the finals.
And as you said, go, Rash.
I was just saying, David, one thing I've noticed is, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I wanted to get your point of view on a couple of players. One was that I really don't think Patrick Cripps has hit his straps this year, like really compared to last year. So that's a good thing for us, because if he hits his straps, then, because it's been Hewitt from the front this year. I wanted to see what you thought of Binns' first game, what you thought of Will White, whether he still sticks in, and then Motlop, which I think he did pretty well in the last quarter, although, he's the whipping boy, a bit Lockie Plowman-esque, and Durden. Those ones, if you can sort of give us...
we need more out of them, and you throw Lockie Fogarty into that mix as well. We need more out of those guys, and they need to be... I don't know what their individual roles are, but we need more out of them. We just need more possessions out of them. We need more goals out of them. We need more footy smarts out of them. That small forward role. Could you imagine Eddie Betts in that forward line at the moment? I mean, he would have loved to have had that type of forward line down there, and it's just blokes like Cameron and every other team seems to have these good small forwards, and we got a bunch who are either very young at the moment, with White and these sort of blokes, and we've got a few young ones in there, and even Motlop, he's still young, but he needs to show more of that intent he did show in the last quarter, and working hard on that. Then he needs to do that from the first bounce, not when it gets tough.
What is Motlop's role? What is his role? Like,
it should be to be at the foot of every single pack, getting up the field and hitting the packs. And I haven't seen him doing that though. He doesn't seem to be doing that type of role. So therefore, he's a lot of the goals he does get. Flick-ons over the top where he's managed to get on his own, and pretty easy stuff. He needs to establish himself as a league footballer, as a genuine AFL footballer, and show what he's got. And that's going to come through hard work. It's not going to come through skill and that. He's got a lot of skill. He hasn't got pace. He's slow. We saw that last week. He was run down last week from behind by a bloke who was 6'3" or whatever. So he needs to get a hell of a lot better.
He was a lot better. He was
things, in the last quarter, he did a couple of really good things.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying around goals though. We need goal kickers.
Yeah, we
need goal kicking forwards, and who do you look at there? I mean, Durden, Motlop, the people we're talking about, White, Fogarty plays a bit of a negative role there in the forward line, but he still needs to be kicking goals, and otherwise we're just relying on Harry and Charlie, and then we become too predictable. Yeah, and that's a real issue. That when we're predictable, we're easy beats.
Yeah, and Binns, what do you think of Binns' first game? I thought it was okay.
I thought he was all right. Yeah, no, he's all right. I'm glad he got that goal, and he butchered the ball a couple of times, but which is probably the one thing that holds him back. But at least he gets the ball, and you see him in there having a go. I think Blake Acres his game's picked up too. I think he's sort of
good game.
Providing a lot more. The Holland boys are doing quite well, so I think both of them are
good. And Acres, I mean, that bloke there, man, like he does, again with his shoulder. I mean, the bloke is a beast, man. He doesn't give up. So I was impressed with Acres. The other one is
that's his best game for the year, Acres.
And unfortunately, he's got that shoulder. He's going to carry that for the year though, and he did that a few years back. So. I think he's just got a bit of weakness in that joint, and he's going to cop those. But he knows he can push through it too, so he's done it before.
The one selection I didn't get and I didn't like again was Evans coming in, and they dropped Carroll. I don't get why they keep doing that. I thought Carroll, he's been all right this year, and then he had an ordinary game last week, but you don't drop him for that one ordinary game. He's a good kid. I would have
dropped 10 for last week, couldn't you?
What's that?
You could have dropped 10 of them last week, for what the way they played. But we don't know. We don't know the what's happened. Or
did you know who they?
I wouldn't want too many players feeling safe in there. I think there's probably half a dozen, 6 to 8 of them who should feel safe, but the rest of them, you need to keep them on edge to get the best out of them.
By the way, Frankie Evans was playing on Wanganeen. What's his name? Wanganeen Mill, and he smashed. He is such a good player, by the way.
Yeah. But they give the ball to him. They get the ball in his hands as much as they can. So him and Hill, they set him up. So. They try and get the ball into their hands as much as possible. So, it's just a matter of putting pressure on them so they can't, deliver the ball how they want to because, they'll destroy you otherwise. So, I think overall we did a pretty good job restricting their and as you say, their big blokes in the forward line didn't touch the ball. There weren't any real pack marks or anything. Their blokes who were taking marks and kicking goals a week before didn't produce at all.
It's hard to get through our defence, and that's a good comment there. I thought Cooper Lord, he was good. Yep. He was good enough, but that goal, that was huge. That was a huge goal, man.
And there's a bit of vision of that goal, if you can get your hands on it, where he worked his ass off to get down to that forward line. He was involved.
I think he started it from the back
line. He started in the back line, but he ran almost a semicircle to get to where he had to. But he worked hard. But that's what you do when you're an interchange player or sub, and you come on. You've got the legs, so use them. Use them. That's what you need to do. And anyone who gets that vision of him beforehand being a starting the passage of play where he kicked that goal. Have a look at it and see how hard he works there, and that's well deserved. And a lot of times you'll be in a game and you'll work that hard sort of thing. You won't get the ball, but you've got to continue to do it. And blokes like Ollie Hollins, he's one who continues to really run hard and try and create space and you're dragging a player along with you as well. So
I love it.
I think Saad played a good game too. I think Saad played pretty good.
I thought, he's been good too. Yeah, no. The whole back line, I thought the whole back line, I wouldn't have put one of them at fault.
Yeah, no. As I said, a lot of good signs. A lot of people stood up when they needed to. Like again, that Lord, he stood up with that goal, and then Mackay. Yeah, just Mackay's been so good, man. He deserves all the praise. He had a bit of a, we all talked about him and him taking some time off and that. But, those crunch goals, he's become that player where you can rely on him. He's done it a few times now where he gets that crunch goal. And that goal there, that was the most difficult goal of the night for him. And he slotted it beautifully, So, mate, so impressed. And whenever we need him down the line to take that mark, you
have a look at the size of the bloke. He's a monster. He is an absolute beast, and I just wish he had a little bit of SHIT in him because if I was that big, you'd kill blokes. You'd crash packs. You'd just do everything, and I wish he was like that, but he's not. He's not, and unfortunately in some ways because but he's just got to realise, and the other thing is, as the game goes on, he doesn't get any smaller. He doesn't get any smaller as the game gets longer. So and players are they're getting tired. They're not jumping as high. So big blokes really do come into the game in that last quarter, and as they should. And big strong blokes like him should be able to take the marks and kick the goals when they're counted.
And the other one is just quickly on Walsh. He's been good recently in the last 3 or 4 weeks. They've kind of opened him up. He's playing more on the outside there, and especially the first half, quarter and a half, 2 quarters, he was huge for us. And once he gets, it's the Walsh we know. This is the Walsh, Let him go, let him run. And all of a sudden, have you noticed now he plays a bit more on the outside? He's got a little bit more room. Have you noticed his kicking is also getting better because it's not under pressure? I think last week, I'm not sure how many tackles he did this week, but last week he only did 2. And I'm not sure how many he did this week, but that's what we want from him. We don't want him to do 10 or 12 tackles, That's not his job.
Yep. No, for sure. And you look at Walsh and Cripper and their years this year, they just haven't been able to have that burst, that real burst of speed. And being able to, Cripper, we mentioned him before, but he broke the lines last year a lot and was kicking goals. He's coming through that midfield and bursting through and had that strength and pace. And Walsh, a bit the same, just seems to not be as quick this year and gets caught, or under pressure as well. So whether that back problem that Walsh has got is, not enabling him to be the running type that he has been over the time. But you watch him. I mean, he busts the gut every match. He works his butt off and runs all night. So good on him.
It's been good, and I think him. The reason you put Cooper Lord in the middle there. You're running Hewitt's having a better year and it's releasing Walsh. I think it's all good for Carlton. It's exactly, and I think Elijah Hollins is the other one who's come in recent weeks that's made a big difference to us. He's a good player. He's a very good player. I like him.
He's the one. Yeah, he's the one player who I was really looking forward to this year, and he had that, whatever personal issues or whatever that was before, and missed, and it was disappointing because the way he played last year, you could just see, a preseason behind him. See, last year was really his first full year of football. He's been in the system a long time, but injuries and so forth have really, and he was a very high draft pick too. So
Number 7.
and I think I think he had a ACL
He did.
leading into the draft too. So to be picked up at number 7 and with an ACL injury, coming off an ACL, very, very high quality. So and he's one who we haven't seen the best of yet, and we're going to. I think he can be, that bloke like Jack Martin type in that forward line. That bloke who just does some freakish things, sort of thing. And we need something different down there, and he can be it. But he can also get through the midfield, and he's really got some tricks. He's got some skill. He's good on his feet. He can avoid, people who get through packs. And you watch George Hewitt at the moment. That's been the real strength of his is how he's been able to evade and walk through, 3 or 4 players around him and been able to get through. And he's one who's just he'd be. I reckon he'd be well ahead now, best and fairest at the moment, and having a terrific year.
Look, I'm up and down with the Blues, man. Like one week I'm like Adelaide, I'm ready to bloody throw the dynamite at them, and then this week I'm thinking, all right. Well, I think we're just a player or two away from really being a good contender. We're not that far off. We're not that far off. So I've got
I think the footy we play, the style we play, will work. It will work. We're going to need some luck with injuries and not losing, key players and so forth, and hopefully getting more back. But we've got the basis there now, without a doubt. We've got the basis there. It's really going to be our bottom 8 players in how they can lift and become very good players or good players and being able to do roles or do a job, because our good players are good enough. We need to take the pressure off them by our lesser players improving and getting more of it and taking the pressure off them.
Yeah, and I think putting that pressure coming from underneath, the reserves, getting players, and as you said, like no spot should be safe. I think that's going to be the key part of it. If we can get some of those players like worried about their spots and some other kids pushing up, like as I said, Binns has come up. I don't know how long he's going to stay there, but he definitely deserves to get some more games now. I'd like to see him and Carroll both in the side, and then because I love Carroll's left foot. So I don't know. Look, I'm confident.
I put Boyd in there, Rocco. I like Boyd. I'm so surprised he hasn't played. While we're talking about the reserves, Doherty had 37. Just for info.
I watched a bit of the reserves, and Doc was being a bit of a ball hog, and don't worry, he took every kick in, so you get a possession for the kick ins these days, and he was he did. He worked very hard, Doc, but.
Let's not get hoodwinked. Let's not.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking the same. I know, and I love Doc and all, but let's be mindful of and if we do play him, he's got to play as a backman. He's got to play on that back line.
Yeah,
you can't have him swinging through a midfield or on a wing or anything. You need him in the back line. So. Yep, if we need a backman, look, put it this way, we might need a backman this week if McGovern can't play. So
and Cowan.
I'd say,
and Cowan too.
And Cowan.
Yeah,
what about Boyd? Cowan. How was he, Reese? Did he play all right, Boyd?
Boyd was okay, yeah, a bit fumbly at times he looked, but which was a surprise because he's normally pretty sure of himself. But he moved well. It's the VFL is scrappy. It's scrappy to watch.
Exactly.
And you got players down there. I mean, Moyer kicked a couple of goals, and I saw someone mention Moyer before on there, and he's the sort of player who would be a better footballer in the AFL than he would in the VFL. It's just the nature of the way that the way the game's played, it is very scrappy at VFL level. So it's probably harder to get a kick than it would be in AFL level because you know where to run and what to do, and people will put it lace out for you rather than at your toes. So. Yeah.
100%. And Moya's one that I think we're waiting for, but the opportunities he's had, I mean, even last time he came and he almost had a full game. I mean, he didn't show much at all,
No.
So we definitely, like, Moya's the one kind of player we need in that forward line, that third kind of like medium. He would be, like, if he was playing well, he'd be perfect for us. But as I said, next time he gets his chance, he's got to take it. He's got to take it, and he didn't.
And he really does. And you got to see that desperation that he wants to be there. I mean, if you get the opportunities, you got to grab them, and you just got to go for it. And you got to be desperate. You got to be showing that I don't want to be playing back in the VFL next week. It's my opportunity to shine. And bugger everyone else, sort of thing. So, you got to have that attitude to get in there and show you really want to stay there.
100%.
Rock, I'm just thinking we should probably get to the votes of that game.
I definitely reckon we get to the votes before Reece says it. I'll give you Joe's and Vince's votes. Joe had 3 to Mackay, 2 to Silvani, and 1 to Haynes. And Vince had 3 to Mackay, 2 to Silvani, and 1 to Cripper. I mean, that's about right. But what did you think, Reece?
Yeah, look, I gave the 3 to Mackay, and he finished the game off very well, and that goal was a clutch. But I thought he did well in the ruck when he was rucking as well. I thought he got a lot of hit outs to our advantage, and so he should. He's playing on blokes a lot shorter than him. He didn't have Marshall to contend with very often. So he was very good, and he gets a 3 vote. So I give 2 to Cripper. I was saying to myself at 3/4 time, we need our skipper to stand up and be counted, and he really did in that last quarter, and that sort of swung me. I thought it was a really good team effort, so it was hard giving votes, and I give 1 to Nick Haynes. Nick Haynes, who not only wearing the 26, but
but he did. He played really well.
A lot of contested marks, and I really could have given the votes to all the backmen, sort of thing. But you just sort of look at the context of things and where you do win it from, and we held them to a bloody low score, even though we didn't kick many ourselves. To keep them to a low score like that with all the injuries and everything we have is great for our back line. JSOS could have got in, Weeders could have got in the votes. Very easily. So good team effort, and the boys on the back line are always bloody stiff when it comes to getting votes and things, but that's
Haynes, I think, is leading marks for the competition, I think.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Is that intercept marks or?
No, I think it's overall marks. Yeah.
Marks overall.
I think he'd be pretty close to intercept marks too. I mean, I think he had another 12 marks this week. I don't know how many intercept. Last week or the week before, he nearly broke the record. He got 9. So, look, all kudos to him, man. He's really stepped up.
I look
79.
79.
I look more at the intercept marks than the actual marks, because a lot of those guys on the back line, they get those chips across to them, back, forth, whatever, when they're trying to go across ground or whatever. So
what about intercept
I like the intercept marks and contested marks, and they're the figures you really got to work on.
Yeah.
I'll have a
And what about, all right, let's get to, I haven't got the graphics, but I can give you a bit of a
I'm going to remember
Spirit of Carlton Award.
I'm going to remember who I give it to. Hang on.
I can tell you.
I give it to Cooper Lord. Yeah, Cooper Lord.
Right.
And the reason being, I mean, it'd be hard to be a guy sitting on sitting on the pine waiting for someone to get injured basically before you come on. And you never know when you're going to come on. You could come on the first minute, the last minute, whatever. You mightn't get a run. Some of them don't get a run. But you're sitting there and I just thought his impact, and especially with that goal, was worthy of the Spirit of Carlton Award this week. So good on him, and hopefully he's in the team this week because he earned his stripes by what he did, and be good to see him in there.
I agree. I think he should. I think he should be starting the game. I've always said I like Cooper Lord, and he kind of releases people like Walsh and Shearer, because he's that hard nut that gets in there. So no, I like Cooper Lord. That's a good one. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I like that.
Well, the tips from last week, I think I've got them here. Do you know what? Do you have them there? What three?
Remember.
I've got them. I've got them.
Have you?
I think we all had Carlton, didn't we?
Yeah, I think you all had Carlton.
Yeah.
But this week, I think you all had Carlton. So Joe will fix all that up.
Yeah.
But this week, do you want to hear their tips first, Reese?
Yeah. Yep.
Bangkok Joe's gone Carlton 36 points.
Yep.
But Big Virgin's, I don't know what's wrong. It must be the medication because he's gone Sydney by 8 points. So he's not even backing us. So that's a disgrace from Vince, right? But he's gone Sydney 8 points. I can see what you have done. And of course you've done this.
Well, I'm going up there. I'm going up there. So Sydney by 26 points.
Any reason why it's 26?
Yeah, well, I'm just the bloke in number 26 is going all right at the moment too. So I've just picked that number out. And look, I honestly think the way the Swans are playing, we need to get hold of them early. And the ground is different. The ground is. So
can you explain just quickly? What's different about the ground? Like, what is different?
Well, it's a little bit wider and a little bit shorter. And what happens there is your centre half, your true centre half forward really doesn't work. He needs to work further up the ground. Like it's one of those grounds you can get the ball out of the middle and you bang it straight into the goal square sort of thing. So And this is where a lot of teams get caught out because they'll bomb the ball in. When you got the 666 in that initial stage, it's perfect to get it in there quick to them because they're all one-on-one in there. But you can get caught wide. You can it's just a different ground, and you really need to set yourself up by and this is where we fail a lot, is bringing the ball into your forward line. Because teams will really attack you out of defence at Sydney, and you see a lot of.
What does Carlton need to do? Like, how do you play that? Like,
we need to play the right way to play it, and you need to start your attack in your defence, and I want to see blokes like Sard getting the ball and running through that midfield and setting us up into the forward lines.
Yeah. Like Blakey.
You don't want to get too wide. Blakey will do it all the time, and they're missing Papley, they're missing Goulden, they're missing some good players at the moment. So their back line's not holding up all that well. Their forwards are, I think Amadi's out, so they're really tinkering with things down there. They're lack of confidence. You've got to get them early because up there, especially with the crowd and everything else,
with that pompous crowd, they all think they're above it. That pompous crowd. Every time I go there, like they're all sitting there with their firmest and that. And last time we went, they absolutely punished us. What about, you said that it's wider the ground, right? So does it just mean you've got to keep your width about you? Like, what does that mean? Like, what should we be doing?
Well, you don't want to get too wide unless the only time you get it out wide is if you've got someone out there who can play on straight away, sort of thing. So, deep on those wings, you really can just use the if whoever controls the corridor wins games of football at the SCG. And that's why they try and force teams wide. They'll try and control that corridor all the time. And that's why they've been so successful. And teams fall into, hang on, I've got a bloke out here. Let's get it out to him. He gets held up out there. You're 2 kicks, 3 kicks away, from the wing to getting to goals. So they can pocket you in and they just control that corridor.
Set it up like that. It makes
sense.
Yeah,
and they play it very well because they're there all the time.
So we're going to take the game on through the middle. Use, like you said, like people like Sard. I would like to see Boyd come in because I know he's a bit of a dasher and that. Like someone like
he's got
that.
pace.
Someone like
He's
that.
got a great kick.
Yeah, when he was playing, he was our best kick. So I don't know what's happened. So he might get his opportunity depending on what McGovern's doing. And I don't know if
McGovern's out for 2 weeks.
McGovern's out
for 2 weeks.
Oh, is that what they said? All right, so he's out. What about the Lizard? What about
Allen's out too. So well, he went off. He failed his HIA, so I think that means he's out, doesn't it?
That means he's out. That's big.
Yeah,
that's huge.
So that's a huge advantage as well because their backline is very suspect. As I said, they're beset with a lot of injuries. They're a bit like we've been over the last few years, and you feel a bit sorry for their new coach because just a coach. He comes in and into a grand final team and he's just copped every bit of bad luck you could. And Goulding and Papley are stars. They really do set the team alight. So it's really shown on the guys who are in there at the moment who. Their stars just not performing because there's a bit too much pressure on too few.
Do you know, David, that we got the fitness guy from Sydney Swans that's with Carlton this year. So that might mean something because traditionally I don't think Sydney's had many injuries. So
no, they haven't. No.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So they've got a new fitness guy there. We've got the Sydney guy. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Aiden says that he passed his HIA, so I don't know what's going on. So we'll find out soon enough if he's in.
Well, he didn't go back on the ground. I read somewhere that they said he failed his HIA. That's why he didn't go back on.
Yeah, we'll find out.
You have to be off for 20 minutes. That's the point. You have to get so if you pass it or not, it's a 20-minute thing, isn't it?
Yeah. You definitely got to be off.
It would have been 20 minutes. It was the end of the game anyway, so he missed out coming back if he was going to come back.
Yeah, but then if he fails it, that means he's out for 2 weeks.
For 1 week.
No, 2 weeks. It's 14 days.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
14 days. So anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's playing or who's not.
Exactly. Whichever way it goes, we're going to beat them. So whoever's out there, it's 22 against 22, and
and it's time to do it. It's time to take the Swans. As I said, they've given us a bit of a hiding, over the last few years. It's time to go out there again. Every game's going to be back against the wall, but you know what? Just got to take this, man. There's an opportunity now to win the next, maybe 4 out of 5 games or 5 out of 5 games. They're all winnable. GWS next week's going to be tough. Sydney's going to be tough, So it's the ball's in our court. I know it's an old saying, but the ball's in our court now. It's up to us, No excuses, enough of the excuses. Yeah.
That's it. We've got the players there. We've got them, in reasonable enough form. No excuses.
Yeah, that's it. All right. That was good.
I've got one more thing, one more question, maybe that David can help us on. If anyone with Peter Bosasto, is there something happening?
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything? Is there a funeral this week, I believe, or
funeral on Tuesday? I think.
Sorry to put you on the spot there, just in case but.
I think there is a link to it, but I'm not aware. I'll check the Carlton website. I'm sure there'll be something on there with regards to any links or things that are happening around the club or whatever. So just check the Carlton website. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the club are doing something, and there will be a link to the funeral as well.
Yeah, 100%, man. All the best, and all the best to his family. It's going to be a tough day, but I just want to say that just like life, footy, it's a short time, so make the most of it.
That's
like life and footy, your footy career and your life. Like, let's not wait. Let's take the opportunities now. In the footy sense, the opportunities this week, not next year, not when we get another player, not when we sign TDK. The chance is now, mate. Don't miss out, because you just don't know when you get that opportunity again. I suppose when you won that premiership, after winning a premiership, you must think, far out, we can do this like another 3 or 4 times, but it's not that easy, is it, Reece?
No, it's not. You do too, because you are the best when you win it, and you think, well, geez, we've only just got started. I mean, Kernahan and Bradley and those blokes had only been there for 2 years, and they're in their second year and winning premierships. So it was exciting at the time, but there was a mob called Hawthorn around at the time who were pretty good as well. And,
they kept spoiling the party.
They do. But anyway, all right. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. And if I see you up there, Rocco,
I might shoot you off a message. See where you are about the ground. And we'll catch up. 100%, man. And that's it, man. Enjoy.
Looking forward to it. Go the Mighty Blues. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Reece.
No worries.
Bye.
He's a star, but
how good is that, having David Rees-Jones on a weekly to give you the real insight? Like, seriously, no one else can tell you about the ground and this and the insight.
I was as soon as he mentioned it, I thought to myself, far out, he's played at both grounds. He played at Swans, he played here.
Yeah.
What is it about the ground? Like, we all hear it. We all hear that it's smaller, it's wider, this ground like this ground like this. But what is it that makes it different? And then what can we do? And what he just said, I'm definitely going to be watching that now when I go there.
Yeah, all of us will be. Hey, did you watch the Sydney game versus Essendon at all?
Yeah. I watched, to tell you the truth, I watched the second half. I didn't watch the first half.
The same. I watched the last quarter, and Sydney started coming back, and I thought Essendon was going to drop it.
Yeah.
But there were some howlers there, like the Aaron Francis. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. Did you see? Yeah. Anyway, I reckon they're ready.
Look, Sydney aren't traveling the best, so we've definitely got them at a good time. They're going to come hard this week. Don't worry about that.
They will. They're a good club in general. But get your ass down to the Sporting Globe on Friday night, and I'm telling you, Rocco, how many times have I told you how good the food was?
The food is great. So get down there. The link's below. So make sure, or if you don't find the link, just go to Try Booking. But there it is. We do the catch-ups. The food is amazing. I'm telling you now, the ribs.
But the vibe is really good, because we've got this area that's closed up for us. It's all Carlton. It's people all that Carlton. The last the best
every screen apart from 1 or 2 that's showing the races, but there's like 15 screens there, all showing Carlton. So no matter where you sit, you can watch it, and then at quarter time, we all stand around and discuss it, and then we go back to watching the game, and the beers.
And the service is good too, by the way. I was really impressed. The service is good. Drinks come out quick and everything. I was super impressed. I'm looking forward to going on this Friday.
Look, again, we want to thank the Sporting Globe for jumping on jumping on board with the Jumper Punch, man. It's so good to have them on board, and then to have this, as I said, I don't think you realize how good it is, because you've got all the Blue supporters, no other supporters there. We're watching the game, win or lose, you can just feel it in the air. And it's good. And the food, and you get to meet everyone, and it's good. So make sure you get down there. As I said, unfortunately, I won't be there. I'm going to be up there in Sydney with my son, so we're going to go spend a few days up there, and hopefully we can bring it home, man. I'm going to, if I can, I always try to attack the mascot. So if I can find him, I'm definitely going to jump on him, right? I did it with West Coast.
You guys
It's
like
in-
smashing?
Oh, I'll punch him. I don't care, man. Like I did it with, I gave the big eagle when I went down to Perth, the big jumper punch. I couldn't get to the crow when I got down there because he was on the other side of the boundary line. I didn't want to get kicked out. But if I see that Swans one, I'm definitely going to give him a nice jumper punch. Yeah, so it's a bit of fun. So that'll be good. And that's it, man. It's going to be. What's your tip? Give us your tip. You didn't give us your tip.
Look, I think we'd win. Look, I want to say this. This is just my point of view. This year, out of the last 2 or 3 years, is the first time that I'm not really confident about the Blues. Like, to be honest. Like, and I've told you that. And you've said to me, and I'm like, whatever. But I reckon we'll win this week. I reckon we'll win by about 3 to 4 goals. I think that's where we're at. If we bring in the good performance and have a couple of those changes, I think so. And with all the young kids that are coming through, the more games into them, the better. I think it's like I'm a fan. I like Will White. I think the kid's got speed. He's good.
I like Will White. I think him and Durden are doing okay. They're doing okay. You know what I mean? Motlop's a bit disappointing. You know, like
I think Motlop's last chance this week. It has to be. They've given him a block, and if he doesn't do it against Sydney, it's like, you know what? Voss is really giving him a lot of chances to go, come on. Then you got to go to the twos, mate. You have to.
We all want him.
They'll play him this week because it's Indigenous round. So it's
he's playing.
Is Zach Williams coming back in? Do we know? Does anyone in the chat know? Zach Williams?
I don't think. I think he's out for a little while. He definitely
wouldn't be far away either, I think.
Who?
Chinkota wouldn't be far away.
I heard from the grapevine, very close to the grapevine. I think it's going to be
the olive branch.
Yeah, from the olive branch. It's definitely be after bye. So I reckon it's going to be about. I doubt he'll be back next week. They were saying about round 10, but I doubt he'll be back next week. I think what they're going to do is they'll wait after the bye, and then he should be ready for selection. And I think he's going to be an important cog. Chinkota.
I heard that Newman is like not far off. Like he might be coming.
Well, I don't know if he's not far off. He's definitely starting to train. You know, if anything, near the end of the season, you might see him if he's good. Look, if Newman can get back, he's huge, man. He's huge, man. So get back. And you know what? And I think the Camperelli boys are getting close. You know what I mean? I heard that is a Ben Camperelli.
Ben, the one that hasn't played yet.
Yeah. I think Ben had a really good game. They both had not bad games, but Ben had a really good game. He got a fair few amount of possessions there, and you know he's got to be close to getting a game. I would like to see him. I love the kids. I love our seniors, but the energy the kids bring is like whenever, like when I seen Cooper Lord kick that goal, it pumped. I like Mackay's goal pumped me up, but the Lord goal was just, you know, the young kid, he comes on and
he hasn't even played 10 games. How many games has he played? 10? 8?
That's a huge goal, mate. Don't underestimate that goal, man, because we were only 3 points up at the time, or 3 or 4 points up at the time, right? That was a huge goal from 50. Like he's kicked it from 50, you know, 51, 52. He's only a little bloke, man. That was a huge goal, man.
Like he would score like the week 2 weeks before.
Yeah. We've kicked a few crunch goals this year.
I know. And you know, the other thing is, I know we stopped talking about St Kilda, but one thing that impressed me is that they held the line for the last 10 minutes. The way that we were professional in 100%. Like, which is good. So it looks like they're matured, but there's still. I reckon if Cripps and Walsh start playing. I don't think Cripps this year has played as well as last year.
I don't think he's had to, you know what I mean? Because we've had Hewitt, I think he's played a different kind of role, but he stood up when we needed him to stand up in the last quarter.
100%.
Yeah. And Walsh is, as I said, because we released him a bit, he's been a lot better the last 3 or 4 weeks. You know, you can just see his class when he's running around, you know, and hitting targets. So, look, the pieces are slowly getting moved. it's kind of like happening, you know what I mean? I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not on the, you know, like the lid's not off, none of that, you know, like, again, it's about this week. Like I said it against Adelaide. I said, you know, when we beat Geelong, I wanted to see it against Adelaide. All right, we failed. All right, I want to see it against St Kilda. You know what? We've got another opportunity. You beat the Swans, you're still not back, but it's getting there. You know what I mean? Like it's getting
Rocco,
there.
Here's the point. I'm with you on that. This year, if anything showed me, guys in the chat will probably agree or disagree, is that when you get North Melbourne drawing with Brisbane, just think about that for a second, right? Richmond beating Carlton, which is the worst thing that happened for the year, and some of these upsets that happen, like, you know, Western Bulldogs flogged someone or GW, like they flogged the GWS. All these sort of things, it's one of those years that, you know, I think it's not so, aside from the top four, which I think they are above the rest, which is...
But you say that, but then, and you do, and they are above us, but then Brisbane just drew with North Melbourne. And they're on top of the ladder. So, you know, when you look at that, you go, all right, maybe they had a bit of an off day. But what that shows is if you can get it together, right, and you could play some good footy, man, anyone can almost beat anyone.
Yeah, I agree. And look, Fremantle got smashed by Saints last week, and they come pretty close to the Pies. I mean, you know, like it wasn't. So who knows? I know they played in WA, but still, it's a weird year.
Yeah. It's good. All right. It's good.
Rock, tell us about the shows that are happening this week and before we wrap up.
So, unless you've been under a rock, you know what's about to happen.
Under a rock.
Under a rock. You like that.
Under the rock.
Yeah, there's only one person under the rock. Listen, listen, you know, Tuesday, the big show. Paula's definitely back 100%. I think we've got a special guest. You're going to... That's what he told me. He goes, he's definitely going to be back. I think because they did have some racing stuff they had to get done, but I think that's over now. Yeah, that's it. Subscribe, all that, you know, the Jumper Punch, Blue Sunday. Yeah, so definitely Tuesday. Wednesday is Forever Rivals. Second time this year, all 4 rivals have won.
You guys got to be happy.
Yeah, so we'll still be giving it to each other, but all rivals won. Exactly right, mate. All the rivals won. So there'll be some fun. Make sure if you want to get on and have a chat with us, I put out the link on the Wednesday and you can jump on and have a bit of a chat and say hi and give it to the boys, man. Forever winners. Very good, very good. I love that. Peter Bluebag is always on the ball. So make sure you catch that, and then next Sunday, of course, the reviews and previews will come out, and that's it, man. Busy.
I'm really enjoying the previews. Lovely, quick, bite size. I love it. It's really good.
Yeah, 100%, man. He does a good job, and you know,
Paul,
he always said he was the best analyst.
Yeah, he was. And the other thing you're doing is you're taking excerpts of the Jumper Punch, like particular that's good. I like that.
Yeah, so we do a little bit of a 15-20 minute like bit of a clip of something we talked about during the show. We've always got all that stuff on TikTok and that just for a bit of fun, you know. But the main shows are always there. We try to do our best. I think we
you have a special guest this week.
We always got a special guest. Look, I've told him you're going to like this person. But you're going to like this person, so get tuned in for Paul and this other guy. He's been on before, so it's no surprise. But I'll just wait for him to confirm tomorrow. I'm looking forward if he comes on. It's going to be a nice. I think it's going to be a good show. A good show. I think we're optimistic. We're not too far ahead of ourselves. If you look over there, the dynamite is just sitting on the second shelf. We haven't put it up yet. It hasn't come down yet. It just sits right there, mate, just in case.
Well, you know, when I come in one day when you invite me, you know what I'm going to expect on the table for the food? I want the Dubai chocolate.
Oh, yeah, the Dubai chocolate and chicken. The chicken from
Al Jannah.
Yeah, Jumna chicken, definitely 100%. We're going to get the Dubai chocolate. We're going to get the chicken. Yeah, I've heard about that chocolate. It's supposed to be really good, isn't it?
It is very good.
Yeah,
it's gone viral.
That's it.
Huge.
Yeah, no, I've heard it's good. So that's it. So it should be a big week, man. I'm looking forward to the shows, but I'm also looking forward to taking off to Sydney. I'm going to get our good friend Snapper from Northside Transfer to bring me Friday morning. So make sure if you got any taxi services you want to do, make sure you hit Northside Transfers and hit Snapper. He's a good man. And yeah, make sure you get down to the Sporting Globe.
I'll be there.
Yeah, 100%. You're gonna fly the flag. You, Paolo will be there. Mars will be there. I doubt Vince will be there. He really wanted to do the show tonight, but
I spoke to him before, so really wishes are with him. And
he'll be right. He's a tough man, mate. It was good. He's a tough man. He loves doing this. He loves the blues. And he'll be back. Don't worry. Next week, he's already planning all his bad jokes and all that. So next week he'll be here telling you all these bad jokes and that. So we look forward to catching up with Joe and Vince back next week. Yeah. So and then I'll get you on soon enough. Next couple of weeks, mate. You'll see Rash on the jumper punch after we beat after we get into the 8. I reckon I'll get you on.
All right, Dad. All right, man. It was a nice little comment there from Enzo. He says, Rash, you need to pick my name out of the hat again to get me back on. Because you remember I picked his name out of the hat.
Oh, did you? You know what, Enzo? We love Enzo. He's a good. You'll be back on. I'm going to give you a call. We'll get you back on. I'm going to try to get as many people. That's why we got the 4th chair there. You know, apart from getting the big ones like the Buckies and all that on there, we like to get all those on there. I like to get a big variety of our guests.
I love it.
Our fans out there. So that's it.
All right. Well, thanks guys for watching.
Thank you very much.
Rocco
Thanks,
and Rash doing the fill in for the those 2 big chairs. Hope you enjoyed 100%.
It. Yeah, 100%, man. Thanks to everyone joining, man. Use as a star. The show isn't anything without you guys, you know. So we love it. I hope we entertained you. And let's make sure I see you on Tuesday. And we go the Mighty Blues. What do you reckon?
Go the Blues.
Go the Blues. Well, let me get it one more time. Go the Blues.
Go the Blues.